when she took the name, I didn't want to say Michaelina because I didn't even know how to spell it at that age. I didn't know how to spell Margaret either. So what I did, I said to the teacher, I heard somebody say Margaret, and I said, that sounds like a nice name. I said, Margaret.
My aunt did the same thing.
So I went by Margaret Zito. Every time I went to school, everything was Margaret, Margaret. And when anybody came to the house and looked for Margaret, Mom would say, Margaret, you know. Then she realized that they were looking for
So what is the name on your birth certificate?
When I went to get my birth certificate, the church had burned down. All the records were gone. So I had to call the department in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I had to call them and get a form to fill. And I put on there, and I said, well, I better make it legal. So I put Michaelina, I put Margaret Michaelina Zito on there. Alice, my confirmation name in there. I thought, well, this way it'll make it legal and I won't have any trouble. So when I went to get the license here, my card just said Margaret A. Myers. And they said, that's not your name. I need to see your birth certificate. So when they saw the birth certificate with Michaelina on there, they said, well, this is not your name. I said, oh, yes, it is. And I took all my bills, and I said, everything from my school years till I got married and up till now, everything comes in Margaret A. Myers. I said, Michaelina was my birth name, which I never used. There are people who have names that they don't use, you know. And she said, well, I had a hard time. I said, let me see the superintendent. So I went to the superintendent, and I pulled down my bills, and I told him the same story. And I said, I am that person. He said, give her her license.
But the thing about it is, that's not her name. Margaret is not her name. Margaret is what she made up for herself. Just like my Aunt Judy. Now, she had to go to court and have her name was Zelma. Zelma Phillips.
I would change my name if I were Zelma.
We were going to name Jennifer. When I was planning on when I was pregnant with Jennifer, it was supposed to be Jennifer Allison.
I remember when you were pregnant with Jennifer, actually.
Yeah, I didn't realize, I knew Alice was my grandmother's name, but I forgot that it was your name. And I wish I had, because she would have been named after both great-grandparents and both great-grandmothers and both grandmothers, because Genovia is her mother's name. And Geneva is my mother's name. They all went by Jenny. Jennifer. And then Alice, well, it was going to be Jennifer Allison.
Named after Mom was both mothers. Both grandmothers, Jennifer.
Well, I just think if we can't prove who you are, you're going to get deported.
Well,
No,
the thing about you kids, you gotta listen to stories.